Changes by Ama Ata Aidoo. Changes, A Love Story is a 1991 novel by Ama Ata Aidoo, chronicling a period of the life of a career-centered Ghanaian woman as she divorces her first husband and marries into a polygamist union. It was published by the feminist press. Setting. The novel is set in modern-day Accra. Characters. Essie Sekyi. Essie is a modern African woman who is highly educated and extremely career-centered. She marries Oko out of gratitude. Oko and their only child, Ogianawa, are neglected in favor of Essie's job as a data analyst for the Department of Urban Statistics. After she is raped by Oko, she divorces him and enters into a polygamist marriage with Ali, believing that it holds the freedom she desires. She believes Ali will give her the space she craves as well. Essie does not attend church but holds vague Christian ideals. She does not convert after marrying Ali because religion isn't really important to either of them. Ali Kondi, a son of the world who has had all the advantages in life. Ali is charming and wealthy from owning a successful business. He had a strict Muslim upbringing, but is not devout himself. Before he married Essie, he already had a wife and several children. Apokuya Dakwa, Essie's best friend, a nurse who also manages a household with a husband and several children. Apokuya also craves more freedom in her marriage, though she does not divorce her husband. She is self-described as fat and is very opinionated, especially about birth control. Oko Sekyi, Essie's husband who tries fervently to breathe life into his dying marriage with Essie. He works as a headmaster for a girls' school. Oko believes that Essie spends too much time at work, which is the source of his frustrations. Kubidakwa, Apokuya's husband who reveals that he cannot be trusted when he attempts to commit adultery with Essie. Ogiana was Sekyi, Essie's daughter who spends most of her time at Oko's mother's house. She feels neglected by her mother and makes it no secret that she prefers her father. Fusina Kondi, Ali's first wife who chose marriage and family over her education and career. This results in her feeling of intense disillusionment. Summary. Essie Sekyi approaches Linga Hideaway's travel agency in order to finalize travel arrangements, a task Essie has taken on in the absence of her company's regular secretary. She meets Sally Kondi, the charming owner of the travel agency, who assures her that his agency will take care of everything. Essie leaves in her beat-up car and Ali praises Allah for the gift of his woman. Sometime later, Essie's husband Oko forces her to have sex with him, which she regards as the last straw in their already deteriorating marriage. Essie then goes to work and tries to pull herself together while searching her native tongue, presumably an African dialect, for a word to describe what has just happened. She concludes that although her native language has no word for it, in English it might be called marital rape. Essie's best friend, Apokuya, is then introduced, her character standing in fierce contrast to Essie's, although their marriage is generally happy. Apokuya and her husband, Kubi, frequently argue about who will have the family car for the day. On this particular occasion, Kubi wins and they agree that he will pick Apokuya up at the Hotel 20th Century after work. Essie runs into Apokuya in the lobby of that hotel and the two quickly begin a conversation about Essie's decision to leave her husband. The story recounts Sally's friendship and eventual marriage to his college friend Fusina. As they had children, motherhood consumed Fusina's life, forcing her to stop working and temporarily stifling her desire for higher education. Essie and Ali's relationship develops as they become lovers. As Essie finds herself becoming more dependent on Ali's affection, she is disappointed when he fails to visit her for 2 weeks. When Ali finally reappears, he proposes to Essie, offering her a ring to show that she is occupied territory. The marriage negotiations begin as Ali travels to the village where Essie's family lives in order to discuss the marriage. However, his request is denied due to his failure to bring a proper relative to the negotiations. It becomes clear that both Ali's and Essie's families are reluctant to agree to such a union. especially when some of the polygamy traditions have already been breached. Both families eventually agree and Ali and Essie are married in a simple ceremony. On New Year's Eve, Ali visits Essie before going home, and while Ali is there, Oko drives up to Essie's house with their daughter, Ogianawa, in tow. The two men fight and Essie bolts, taking Ogianawa to Apokuya's house. Essie recounts the events to Apokuya and Kubi, who drives over to Essie's to check on her house, only to find that both men have disappeared. Ali and Essie go on a holiday to Ali's home village, Bamako, and they spend their time there like tourists. After they return, Ali becomes more distant, spending more time with his attractive new secretary. Essie spends Christmas alone, taking sleeping pills to rein in her deep sense of abandonment. On New Year's Day, Ali finally reappears, offering her a new car as a bribe. He then immediately leaves. Essie shows off her new car to Apokuya and offers Apokuya her old car. Ali continues to give Essie bribes as substitutes for his presents. After 3 years, Essie finally breaks down and tells Ali that their relationship has deteriorated. Apokuya finally picks up her car from Essie's house and leaves. Later, Kubi shows up, supposedly searching for his wife. He begins to kiss Essie and Essie considers sleeping with him but decides that she could betray Apokuya like that. Essie and Ali never divorce, remaining friends and sometimes lovers. End of the summary. Thank you.